Is this a grand menu update?
Princess the Bear, today we're at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort because apparently there's some grand menus for us to check out.
We're going to Gasparilla Island Grill.
Yes, the Gasper place calls us home because it's your number one choice in foodie and entertainment. We're here to try this food so you don't have to. Remember, she's vegan. I'm not. Stay out of the water.
It's time to foodie and chill.
And another update to the Gasparilla Island Grill menu is this chicken salad sandwich. We just call it a chicken salad croissant, served with a side of those typical Disney house-made chips. And you have tons of the chicken salad inside a croissant on top of lettuce. You have plenty of chicken. There's some red onion in there. I see some green pepper. Now, in size and looks only, this thing already looked kind of disappointing because they do have plenty of other sandwiches up there. And this looks to be about like 1/3 the size of those sandwiches, both in filling and bread ratio. But we do not judge things by their size. We judge them by how they taste. There are probably two things that I would say that make this sandwich special. One, the fact that they make these croissants here at the Grand Floridian Bakery, which exalted amongst Disney resorts as being one of the best bakeries on property, if not the best. Same bakery responsible for the humongous gingerbread house they have out here during the holidays. And then the chicken salad itself doesn't taste like something that came straight out of a can. It's got that fresh made, like, points to it. The chicken is nice and moist without feeling like overly refrigerated. And the onion and the green pepper got a nice little kick to it. Crunchy, not like soggy. It's been sitting all day. It's very tasty for what it is. It's a lighter fare lunch, but honestly, I have no complaints. I think these are great additions to the menu here at Gasparilla Grill. I give that 4 out of 5 claws.
Last time we came here, Bear got the create your own salad. They did change the price structure on the salad, so if you add a protein, it costs more, but if you don't, it's like $11.30. So I got just romaine. They do have mixed lettuce as well. Got little crunchies because we did verify the crunchies are vegan. Garbanzo beans, edamame, carrots, even though chef said it was cabbage, they're carrots. And then broccoli and cucumbers. And there's some tomatoes in here too. As far as sauce goes, I got Italian. There was like oil and balsamic as well. And those seem to be the only two vegan options. But there is like some unique ones. So like if you're vegetarian, they have like a Greek dressing that has like feta pieces in it. Food for thought. I will say that chef did toss a very good salad. Everything in here is perfectly covered in dressing. And every ingredient is amazing. I love the lettuce. And I think my favorite salad at Walt Disney World is probably at Roaring Fork, the Mediterranean salad. But I think this is like a hard number 2. If they actually had a vegan cheese available, this would be the best salad at Walt Disney World. But unfortunately, they do not have vegan cheese, but there is one at the one at Roaring Fork. So there you go. I would give this one a 4.5 out of 5 salads. It would be a 5 if it had vegan cheese, but as it is, it's still pretty incredible.
As the resident rabbit of this channel, or Rabbert for short, I love a good pile of greens and dressing in a bowl. Honestly, it surprises me that there aren't more create your own salad stations here at Walt Disney World in the resorts, because this is, I believe, the only one. And it's a deluxe resort, one that a lot of people overlook because of where this place is situated. You know, it's hard to miss Gasparilla. It's easy to miss it because if you don't come to the marina much, you probably never know it's here unless you were actually looking for it. I would eat this every day of the week. Like, these should be the value resort. I don't know why the value resort's not going to make your own salad station. There's basically a mini deli in here. Got a salad, and they have sandwiches. The sandwiches are pre-made, but like they're fresher than what you would normally get out of a grab-and-go fridge. Maybe that's the difference, though, because this is a deluxe resort, so they can spare making your own salad rather than just making you grab a pre-mixed salad out of the refrigerator. But look at that.
There's a buffet here, too.
And there's a buffet? extra all the way. Perfectly dressed, adequately tossed, as the princess would say. I love the mix of the garbanzo beans and the like crunchies. The carrots are nice. I get afraid with like garbanzo beans, chickpeas. Sometimes they're gonna be like straight canned, and I'm sure they do come canned, but they don't have like that canned slimy flavor to them, which is great. The edamame with the broccoli. This is a delicious salad, and for the price, this is hard to beat for any quick service, be it in the park or in the resort, because this would fill me up. This would be my theme park lunch. I would leave Magic Kingdom in a heartbeat. Take a boat to here just for this salad, or whatever concoction of my own salad I make for the day. They do have some like individual dressings if you don't like what they have there. The princess said they have balsamic and oil, they have Caesar, and they also have little like mini croutons you can add later that aren't vegan in the corner. But they're easy to miss because they're like in the corner, but they do have them for you to take. This 4.75 out of 5 claws. I'm half tempted to steal this and just make the princess watch me eat it.
Bear, they had peas and I didn't put them on just for you.
I appreciate your sacrifice.
Say goodbye to the coconut chocolate cake and say hello to the coconut raspberry cake. Looking beautiful with its layers. It's giving like afternoon tea vibes, which is great. I love to see Grand Floridian Bakery showing out everywhere, not just the Grand Floridian afternoon tea room, which was an incredible experience. If you haven't checked that out already, you really should. Ooh, I'm seeing a bunch of raspberry in the layers. That I did not expect. Okay. I wonder how coconutty this will really be. You know what? I'm still struggling here. At least you get to see some innards. Here we go. Alright, this looks like a dessert version of like a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Thankfully, the coconut is extremely subtle, which I like. It just tastes like a raspberry jam. It does give me vibes of like when we were in the afternoon tea, there was like a dessert that was shaped like one of the white roses and they put like the little drops of the jam on top of it. So it'd be like painting the roses red. This tastes like a cake version of that instead of like a mousse version, which was what that was. So this is nice, but also completely different from what I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be more coconut forward, and it's actually more raspberry forward, so it's good enough for me to actually finish. Bravo, Grand Floridian Bakery. You have, as always, knocked it out of the park. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. It is a Princessities item. I had a cookie sandwich recently at Pop Century that was pretty amazing, and I didn't think anything was going to top that anytime soon. This does. It really does, which is surprising to me because I don't like coconut, but this is amazing.
So a coconut raspberry cake? I have fears, because you know what? I shouldn't, because Grand Floridian Bakery has always been, if anything, consistently excellent. And the treats that they put out are second literally to none. They're very proud of what they do here, and for good reason. We've met some of the chefs that have worked on some of these items, and they are very skilled and very happy to challenge themselves. So if they make it, we will come try it. It's odd how very well balanced it actually is with both the raspberry and the coconut. Coconut is like 15%, it's there, but it's so unbelievably subtle that you could almost forget that it's there if you're so focused on the raspberry. The consistency is great, the amount of icing is good. It's a nice, compact treat. I don't feel like it's too much, too little, or too rich. It's excelling in all things. I'll give that 4.25 out of 5 claws. Never to be outdone by things that are Mickey-shaped, Gasparilla Island Grill is no different with this brand new chocolate Mickey Choux. It is a chocolate pastry filled with chocolate Chantilly Cream. So you have basically a puff-shaped Mickey with chocolate cream inside. As usual, we always start with the ear. The mouse does not need it. and it just comes off like a little chocolate bonbon. You get a little creamy there inside. Interesting. A little chocolate base as well. It's given like a chocolatey eclair with chocolate filling and like a crunchy like chocolate top, like almost like Cocoa Pebble level crunchy, but tasty, light, airy. It's like a chocolate puffball with more chocolate, 3 times the chocolate. I give that 3.75 out of 5 plus. We Gasparillaed.
Yes, and I think that Grand Floridian Bakery knocked it out of the park yet again, and all it made me do was miss the focaccia bread from 1900 Park Fair. So like, they did change the menu, but Bear hasn't let me go because like we just went. But like, I think we should go back to 1900 Park Fair for dinner.
Have you seen that video? She's in love with that bread, and when I tell you,
you said you wanted a photo pass with it.
I didn't say I wanted to eat it. I just wanted to take a photo with it.
I want like 10 of them.
She legitimately has not stopped talking about this bread. I think I hear about that bread at least twice a week. Ever, especially since the menu changed. So
yeah, we should go. I don't know. Tell me in the comments. Like, help me convince Bear, because when you guys comment about it, he's more likely to say yes than if I just ask. So please help me out.
Leave a bread loaf in the comments if you want to see her go back and eat that bread.
So anyway, we're gonna continue our little tour. There is really no other place to get quick service at Grand Floridian. There's like the pool bars, but they stopped serving food early and we are here after work. So we're just gonna go to the next best resort, which is a nice little walk away.
Yeah.
I know I could have picked up a tofu bowl over at Gasparilla. They have one with like a cilantro sauce that is pretty nice. I've had it a couple of times. But I do think that if I had to choose between Gasparilla and Captain Cook's tofu, Captain Cook's is the place to go. I actually think it's also better than Temple Cafe. So if you have to go around the Magic Kingdom, this is the place to go. Of course, if you like spice. If you have an aversion to spice, like, this is not the dish for you. They used to give you a lot more tofu. This one seems a little less, but I'm okay with that. I'm excited. This is going to be a great little, like, ending to a delicious day. The rice, I wish I had not had with this tofu. They did wash this rice, but it tastes like they didn't put enough water in the rice cooker when they were cooking it. So it's crunchy. And it's not like crunchy in a way where it's like tzatziki. It's like crunchy like it's parboiled, like it's not fully cooked. Not my fave. The tofu, of course, is always amazing. This gochujang has a little bit more oomph to it, like maybe they put more of the paste into it than in the past, because it is darker in color too. So just a little bit more of a spice to it. I still love it though. I still think it's better than Temple Cafe or Gasparilla's tofu. I would love to put this on the Asian noodles. I just haven't done that. It's like on my wish list of things to do. And maybe one time when we come here after going to Grand Floridian, we'll do that. We'll see. This is like the second time doing this, where we go eat at Gasparilla and then we come here after for a second dinner. I would give this a 3 out of 5 gochujang tofu. It's good, but it's not as good as it has been in the past.
Gochujang tofu should speak to me on every regard. Now, we usually call this like our summit meal, but today it feels more like a Hobbit second dinner, and I'm fine with that. We had an alright time at Gasparilla, but it doesn't mean we won't come over here to Captain Cook's and have them cook us up a literal second dinner. I appreciate how the gochujang does not shy away from the heat, So the nice ramp up, I definitely think that they have increased the punchiness of said tofu with the sauce. That's giving it like a 6 out of 10 on the heat scale. It packs a punch, but still doesn't override the flavor. The tofu, It takes to the gochujang sauce well. I think better than even the chicken tendies do that it normally comes on. Being this is a compliment sandwich, or maybe like an open face compliment sandwich, the rice is awful. The rice tastes like microwavable Uncle Ben's nonsense. Like, it don't taste properly cooked. And rice is not hard to cook. It's a few steps. They skip some steps in here. Luckily, the tofu's good. That makes up for it. I don't feel like I'm losing. But, I mean, the rice is like 60% of the bowl almost, so that's a disappointment. 3.75 out of 5 claws. I don't know why I do this to myself sometimes, because I come back to things knowing I didn't like them the first time. Because you know what? Other things on this menu have improved. There was a time where you couldn't pay us to come to Captain Cook's. This place is awful. I remember specifically once we ordered a pizza to go, and they gave us to the bag sideways. So when we opened the box, it was more like an accordion than a pizza. I mean, it was there, but it was sad. So the Pan-Asian noodle bowl, I'm like, well, you know what? Noodles, vegetables, shrimp. I'm not asking much of you. I just need the noodles to be cooked, the veggies to be fresh, a little bit crunchy, and the shrimp not to be rubber. If you can manage that, it's going to be a good dinner. Now, this is a thickened bowl. I honestly was not expecting to get this much noodles. It's about the amount of shrimp I expected, but that's not confidence inspiring. Not the amount of shrimp that I expected, but everything else is plentiful, I would say. Yeah, raw. Why would you give me raw onion in a noodle bowl with cooked food? Okay. So I don't think it's supposed to be raw, but it looks raw. Okay. I can work with that. Shrimp, well cooked. Nice crunch from the cabbages in here. There's also some water chestnuts as well. And these red peppers are delicious. The shrimp, though, is like... I've seen bigger shrimp than this in like a cup of noodles. These are baby. And not baby in like the good way. Not the Pedro Pascal, not the heated rivalry boys baby. This is baby shrimp. Okay, baby shrimp. But it tastes good. And luckily for me, they have both hot sauce here and actual tamari. So I can punch up the flavors a bit. I feel satisfied with this. This is a much more substantial portion than I would have gotten than I did get actually with the chicken sandwich, and they were the same price. So 4 out of 5 claws. So second dinner was great.
Yeah, we always tend to do this, and I feel like we're probably going to continue to do this. Gasparilla is great and all. It's a deluxe resort, and I really feel like they should have more than one quick service. The pool bars do quick service as well, but they close at 6. And then outside of Gasparilla, you have Enchanted Rose, and then the bar at Narcoossee's and Citricos, which is neither. I think Citricos is not open every day. I think Narcoossee's is. So like your best bet, if you're staying at Grand Floridian, is to come here to the Polynesian,
But
in my opinion.
They have the ice cream soft serve over here.
Yes, the Dole Whip. Yes, gotta have the Dole Whip.
But we want to know always what you guys think. What has been your experience between Captain Cook's and Gasparilla? Let us know in the comments below. As always, if there's anything else you'd like to see us do, that will always be the place to find us. Hit the notification bell if you want to see other videos like this. And
We have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
we'll see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, Bear might eat himself into the wedding pavilion and not be a water bear, but a wedding bear.
They have those?
Yeah, they like officiate or whatever.
I have done. Well, have I done that?
No,
Huh.
you just best manned.
Oh yeah. Well, you heard the girl.